Get in, nerds. We are playing Burden of Command. We have got a lot to do here. We got 5 objectives. One, two, three, four, five. Primary one's this one, but mission doesn't say we got to take it more importantly than all the others. So, that said, this is going to be a complicated scenario. Already we're paying a visit to Mistakesville over here with Lieutenant Rao's platoon over in these trenches, which I don't. There's no way to safely cross this no man's land here without getting shot all to heck. And these little wooden fences are not going to provide any protection. That's just not sensible. So we're going to kind of pivot our assault this way to the west, try to capture these objectives. Lieutenant Rao is going to come up these ways following Lieutenant Thompson. Lieutenant Dearborn is going to go around this way, and we're going to do our best with what we've got. So, we'll start with our man Dearborn. Short-term objective of seizing these trenches. We'll keep in cover, see what we see.
That tree there. You see it?
You know, I do. Okay. Solid cover in all these spots. Let's head over this way. All right.
We're gonna need support.
Of course we are. All right. Looks like these trenches are unoccupied.
There's no cover that way.
Good cover here. Yeah. I know, my man. But we're doing our best here. We'll just go ahead and send the squad forward. Because we still want to have enough points to move this squad as well. That's good. Head up to this spot here. Alright, so these trench lines look like they're unoccupied as well. We'll move the remaining squad here with Lieutenant Dearborn. Alright, looking good so far. Nothing particularly complicated happening over here. So next target is this house, then this house, then this house. And we're going to kind of do our best to get going here. That is Lieutenant Dearborn. So let's pass it. Okay, no movement from the enemy. Got a lot of good smoke in these areas. Well, here's the question. We've got a lot of smoke in these areas. Well, no. This spot's got complete vision of this field. So that means this is functionally non-traversable. Now, do we dare to go across to these trenches? Let's see what visual looks like from here. Alright, so as long as we're not on the road or just to the left of it, you should be good to go. So maybe we can take a little risk here. But we'll see. We're staying moving cover to cover here. I think that's just the most sensible way to do things. If I could maybe get Lieutenant Thompson in there to give a bolster. I mean, he'll take his squad with him, I guess, since... What? Stop taking suppression. Stop taking suppression. It's fine. You're doing fine. Not an ideal setup. Let's go ahead and... I don't want to just sit here. If I bolster this squad, can they get there? They can't. Again, I'm not going to put myself sitting out in the open. So we'll just move the other squad up. And just continue moving forward. So, alright.
Hello, Cottonbalers.
That doesn't seem likely. Okay, so they took a bunch of suppression. So, where are those shots coming from? Good chance it's here. Alright. It is what it is. We'll hoof it back. Sadly, we can't go around to here yet, but that's okay. Change facing. Change facing. You're good the way you're currently facing. And then I think I'll put Captain Murphy. I'm going to wait on Captain Murphy just now. Pass the turn to someone else. Because I might need Captain Murphy to head up to support Lieutenant Dearborn. But we'll see about that. Now, oh, interesting. These walls do block line of sight, which is interesting. I think next is going to be stern. Question is, do I want to keep a machine gun trained on this situation over here? If I put an MG here, that can cover basically this entire advance. Keep the enemy from showing up over there. That's maybe the right call. I'm certainly not going to do it yet. Because I need Lieutenant Rao moving next. Not a lot of good safe options to keep in cover, so we're going to do our best here. Gonna be careful about crossing this road. But it is what it is. I'm going to risk a little bit of movement out of cover just to get us going here. I want to get Lieutenant Rao on the road because I want to get his battalion heading a little bit further east. Enthused. Wonderful. I'm so glad they're enthused. Alright. That's the action with Rao. Now, it's going to be stern next. We're just going to kind of pivot up this way. This mortar and stern I'm going to move here. And that was kind of dumb, but that's okay. SMG will get... Oh, no, I meant to put them up there. That's all right. And finally, Captain Murphy. I will get moving to this squad. Why you shunned? Why are you shunned? You got huge trust. All right, so this squad is going to get a rally next turn. But for now, we're all chilling and vibing. All right, not the most exciting turn one, but we're doing our best. Okay, not much to do. So that's a turn one. Now, artillery connection secure. 2 guns report ready at your command, Capitan. Sparks calls over from where he and the forward observers have positioned themselves beside the field radio. The big guns are certainly welcome, but a lack of armor makes this less of a combined arms offensive and more of a World War I slog. Okay, interesting. Armor's light. Yeah, we know. Oh, I put Captain Murphy in the wrong location. Alright, so we'll start with him. Just pop him back here. So smart and good at video games. Let's go ahead and rally this squad.
You know the drill.
Now, with Lieutenant Thompson, if I pop him in here, if I bolster them, can they get... They can. Alright, so... Here goes nothing.
Let's get going.
Beautiful.
Yates, stay close.
Alright, that is exactly where we want to be. Now, the real question. Do we risk going a little bit further forward when there might be enemy units up in this business? I think it's a maybe. What has visual to us here that doesn't here? Not much. So I think I can be reasonably confident we're still concealed here when we move this squad up, so let's start with that. Oh, they can't get there. Well, that's a shame. I'm taking a big risk if I continue to hoof this squad forward. Let's just creep them 1 hex. See if we can see anything.
Take a lot of rounds.
It'll be fine. Quit your grousing. Alright, Dearborn's going to be next. I'm going to want Rao in these trenches, but let's put a... Damnable terrain. Alright, good. Those hexes are clear. Let's take this house next. Clean. Corporal Sobieski, dutifully at his radio, holds up a hand to shush your headquarters unit. Eventually, the distant Germans seem to comply. Even the distant Germans seem to comply. Captain, there is a report of a man ducking with duck in house. Soldier, one of us is fighting, holding duck inside house. Medics and half squad are with him. This is what is said. He looks at you, his eyes filled with profound confusion. There's been a lull in the fighting while tanks and artillery are repositioned, but it won't be long before things tick back up again. Someone call the Germans and stop the war for a bit. Optional scene, possible stress, trust, and prestige change. If I had a nickel every time, well, I'd have 5 cents. Ignore this. Prestige +1. I'm not just going to ignore a scene. Whatever this is, we'll try it. The little Italian farmhouse is a wreck waiting to happen. Half the roof is caved in and all the windows are blown out with just a few shutters left swinging on ruined hinges. There's now an open question as to whether a door had ever been attached at all. Above the distant thump of artillery, you hear numerous voices, imploring, nay pleading, with someone whose adamant refusal to cooperate is an iron spike in everyone's wheels. Above the distant thump of artillery, you hear numerous voices, imploring, nay pleading, with someone whose adamant refusal to cooperate is an iron spike in everyone's heels. I don't know what that means. Can't even tell if it's on the radio or not. A pair of soldiers, privates, linger in a nearby ditch. The larger of the pair has a backpack radio at his feet. There is no sign of a corporal or sergeant. Okay, so these are our guys. 2 of our guys are cowering in a farmhouse. Maybe deserters. Not a good sign. What could be so important here? Well, alright then. Not a good sign. We need to be quick about this, Captain, First Sergeant Grant says as you hurry forward. The distant din of battle is a constant. Then a loud, piercing quack makes you both turn toward the blasted doorway for a moment, whatever this happens to be. You're right, First Sergeant, this is a fool's journey, end scene +1 prestige. There's a duck involved, I can't back down now. Combat fatigue -10. We have too many men tied up in this. Extra trust. Losing some combat fatigue is nice, but getting a block of trust would also be nice. The Baron. We have too many men tied up in this. Yes, Captain, First Sergeant Grant says and gives a little nod. I'm curious about the duck, but I can't tell exactly what's happening here. The Baron. Hey, meet the Baron. And gives a little nod. And if the Germans notice, they'll sure as hell shell that house again. You step inside the house and find the expected destruction. Ruined tiles, scorched timbers, and shattered glass. But in the far corner, near to a heap of somber clothing, is a half-naked soldier clutching a bundle of feathers. A duck to his chest. Medics ring the man. The duck doesn't seem to like that. As you draw closer, the duck-holding man's state becomes apparent. Dark smudges cover his skin, dried blood clings to shallow slushes in the skin where fragments whisked by. Bruises have begun to darken where the concussion of a shell must have battered him, stripped him nearly naked, and more? The man looks at you as last, his eyes widening in hope. A captain? A captain! Thank God! For its part, the duck quacks. The other men draw back to glance toward you. The medics are from the 157th Infantry, part of the 45th Division, under the 5th Army, and your sometime neighbors. What the hell's going on here? Stop talking or I'll fill the gaps myself. Morphine, litter, everyone back to the war. End the scene, extra prestige, extra trust. 1 prestige and 10 more trust ain't bad. Morphine, Morphine, litter. Everyone back to the war. You give the orders and the medics spring to action, tagging the wounded man with a syringe of morphine before he can draw back or the duck can attack. When the drug takes hold, they bundle him onto a litter. They take the duck along too, which is fine. The duck, despite its ferocity, is clearly a non-combatant. That done, you and Grant gather up the wayward squad and return to the war. Okay, that was curious. Kind of fun. Alright, let's get this squad moving. Uh-oh. Unfortunately, I'm too far back to see where the shots came from, which is curious. A little bit of a hard situation. Alright, let's get Dearborn moving forward here. This should be alright. And that'll be enough for that situation. Let's take a quick look here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 10, 16. So it could be directly from here. Again, I feel like the zoom out's a little bit of a... I don't see it as a bug or like a design problem, but it does mean you can't tell what's happening. Anyway, that's Dearborn's turn. So let's continue here. Okay.
Das ist ein Heimatschuss.
Alright, I saw it that time. It came from up here. That hex. That hex right there. So, the question now is how do I put some fucking mortar fire on it? What can this hex see? This hex can see all this business and all the way down here. So that means I should be able to see it from here. So we'll grab Captain Murphy. He's not going to be able to get there this turn, but he's going to be able to get there on subsequent turns. We'll send him down the road. No reason to get creative on this. Now, we're going real slow right now. Alright, so he's not going to get himself there, but that's okay. I'm going to hold his last action point and keep everyone else moving. We'll get this MG up to here. It'll be Stern's turn. Get this mortar and Lieutenant Stern here. Just going forward a little. And I should have done... Ooh! I got some big guns this turn. Damn! Alright, alright. They don't have the ability to move, which is a shame. Well, they don't have the ability to move yet, at least. Let's, No, that's not right. Let's go to Rao. Get him moving to where he needs to be. And then... I guess these fences provide more cover than they look like they do. And then maybe we'll be able to get these guns going somewhere useful. Now with Rao himself, the question is, do I cross this road? And I think the answer is yes. And we're just going to kind of pray for rain. Don't shoot me, bro. Don't shoot me, bro. Alright, cool. I did it. I'm so good at video games. Alright. We'll get you going forward here. Forward here. And we'll get the squad moving a little bit further. That's Rao. And what does that do to the maneuverability of our squads over here? Now this MG can get moving up this way, which is where we want them. Covering this whole approach. And what about these squads? Wow, they really are very, very slow. I'm going to turn this point this way. And this boy Take command of you. All right, you can't go over these barriers at all. So we're going to put you here. Oh, you do have a little bit more movement. Interesting. Interesting, interesting, interesting. You certainly have excellent coverage down here, which will be very good later. What kind of a weapon are these? These are 105 millimeter cannons. So these are howitzers, but they're not bad at indirect fire. Oh, I bet I can bolster to get over these Hoodie-Waddies. Anyway, we'll keep them moving for the moment. That's all of Captain Murphy's points, so that is turn 2. I think we can live with one more turn. 2 Sherman tanks creep down the road. There's plenty of mud splashed on them already, with one of them filthy from the deck down. The roads are apparently the only reliable way to get around, but that aside, with artillery and tanks in hand, the attack can commence. Nice. All right, where are they? Where are they at? They're over here. Pete's sake. You really are making my life as good as it gets. So, these are Shermans. I think these have a 75 millimeter cannon. They're not the General Lee's. They don't have a secondary cannon, but they do have a they do have multiple. They do have a support machine gun. So that's good. So that'll allow us to do an advance up this way. The squad's doing real bad. Anyway, I think that's actually probably going to be the end of this episode. I think I'm not quite sure how long we've been recording. This will probably be a little bit of a short one. Yeah, I think my current avenue of advance is still the right call. Maybe Lieutenant Thompson's squad will get across here once he's into this business. But until that happens, these tanks are going to have to go at it alone. And we're just going to hope the enemy doesn't have a Panzerschreck for me to worry about. Because I really would hope that that's not going to happen. Is this Lieutenant Ustickelder? Lieutenant Ustickelder? Sounds like some kind of prevert. All right. Anyway, we'll end with the we'll finish out with the Doctor Strangelove jokes for now. All right. That's all the time we got for this episode, my nerds. I have had fun. I hope you all have had fun, and I will see you on the other side.